USDZAR, or some can call it US dollar South African rand, where this is the US economy and the South African economy. So in the forex market, it's called the USDZAR. So we are going to talk about this pair. We're going to cover the technical analysis. We're going to cover the macroeconomic approach, which shows the direction of these pairs by comparing the difference between two countries' economy, the US economy and the South African economy. And we're going to look at the COT report data to see how the large speculators, when I mean large speculators, I mean the big hedge fund, the big banks, where they're placing their future contracts and where the large capital inflow it is between the US and the South African rand. And last, we're going to look at the interest swaps, whereby the difference between interest rates, whereby you'll earn while you're profiting from this pair, you'll also earn. For those who don't know what I mean by interest swaps, I've recorded a video concerning the interest swaps, and I'll leave the link in my bio. So welcome to my channel. This is Macro Market FX, where today we'll be covering the USD South African rand. By studying this, guys, this is a weekly time frame. This is a weekly time frame whereby the South African rand has been going down, and this is what we've been looking. You're looking for sell position. This is a very long-term sell position. This price will not end just in our first take profit, which is going to be 17.23. This is going to go way down due to the macroeconomic difference between this currency currently right now. So currently right now, at the market price, the price is at 17.87, 17.87. Let's look at that daily time frame. The current market economic price, as I said, market price is at 17.87 now. This is what we'll do, price. Guys, here we want you to wait. You wait for the price to come until back to the 18.15. When price comes back to 18.15, then you are going to take it all down to 17 point 17.23. Here's going to be a first take profit, guys. So you have to wait. Your when price reaches this entry, here's going to be a sell entry, and you're going to take it until 17.23. As I said here, where we are going to wait, and when price comes here, we're going to look for another entries going downwards. As I said before, this opportunity is due to the difference between economic activity happening between the US and the South African rand. First of all, let's start slightly by the US tariffs. You know, US is a huge importer of goods, so these tariffs are going to hurt them, are going to hurt the economy, are going to hurt their consumer, meaning their consumer will spend less. This will lead to will also lead to the company corporate profits to decline, mean the SP 500 will go down. This means that the manufacturing working house will go down. This will lead to a lot of massive unemployment. This will lead to a lot of stuff. This which will lead to the US economy to shrink. When the US economy shrink, it will be different to the South African rand. For example, the first the first the first GDP quarter of the economy of 2025. The South African rand is as probably six. We'll take a look at it at my Excel spreadsheet, and the USD is a negative 0.2%. Mean the South African economy is greater to the USD economy. What does it mean to the market, guys? Means South African economy is strong. So that's why also its currency in the forex market it will also be strong. Let's take a look at this inflation. One of the main economic indicators to watch out inflation. You see, South African rand inflation, a good range is from 3% to 6%. This is a good range. So see now the headline inflation is at 2%. You see from January it has declined to 2.8. You see it's a very good percent. That's why it's shown green. And you see it's core inflation. This core inflation is the main gauge the South African bank used to, Central Bank of South Africa used to guide against interest rates. You see that from January it was 3.5, now right now it's at 3%. It is still in the good range of South African economy. You see as its interest rate is at 7.25. This means it has got a good interest rate. Let's look at the USD. USD is neutral interest rate level is 2%, but currently now his headline is at 2.3. It's declining from 3 to 2.3. Look at his score. The main gauge used to by the Federal Reserve is at 3.3. Now it's at 2.8. You see, it's still sterling compared to South African rand. So what does it mean to the market? Look at his interest rate, guys, at 4.5. You see, what does it mean? The South African economy is great, and South African economy has a good interest rate compared to the USD. What does it mean to the market? Mean a lot of capital will be taken out from the USD, kept to South African rand, because when investors invest in South African rand, will have a huge return of their interest, a 7% interest compared to the USD, a 4.5 interest, and likely it will continue decreasing due to the when month ahead what the central bank will offer. So what does it mean to the market? Will mean this will mean to the market. Also, the rand will be continue going down. That's why I said this is a very good potential sell opportunity over the long run, as I said before. So the central bank, you must as a trader, you must keep an eye on the central bank. The central bank policies are the one who govern the market. When the country economic is strong, likely its currency will follow. When the country economy is weak, likely to follow in the forex market. So this is how it works, guys. This is not just about looking at previous price action, support and resistance. It's more about this. These things come after looking at the economic aspect of the country. So let's look at the let's look at other factors we can look at. Let's look at the PMI and the GDP, guys. The PMI and the GDP play a very big role to the economy. Let's look at the PMI and the GDP. Okay, let's look at the PMI and GDP. Okay, let's look at the PMI and GDP. Let's look at the GDP. The currently first quarter of 2025 is GDP, gross domestic product, is at 2.8, guys, negative 2.8. You see, as I said, the US economy is not strong. Look at the South African rand, is at positive 0.1. So what does it mean to the market? It means that the South African economy is stronger than the USD economy. So that's why I say this is I look to the pair. This pair is continuing to be a sell opportunity over the long run. Look at this. That's why this is a very good thing to look at. Yes, the US has got a good manufacturing manufacturing PMI is about 50, a very good one, 53 service PMI, 53 composite PMI compared to South African runway is still stalling, but compared to what the current the US is going, what compared current to what the US is doing right now is tariffs. This will come back to red as the South African run, but the South African run is still economy is still strong compared to the USD, guys. There are a lot of factors considered. Some things like the consumer confidence. What does it mean? The consumer confidence will decline. This will also affect the consumer spending. A lot of factors to look at. So I'll just mention you the key factors to look at: the GDP, the interest rates, the unemployment. You look at I talked about the consumer confidence. I talked about the PMI, I don't think the interest rates. I guess as I said, guys, the economic policy is a good factor you must consider. So let's take a look at the other part. Let's take a look at the COT. This is COT. I mean the commitment of traders, whereby the large speculators. When I mean large speculators, I mean the big banks place their bets in the market. I mean not their bets, how they position themselves in the market. So and let's look at the true SD index. Okay, these are large speculators, big banks, hedge funds, the green line. You see, they were long. When we were long, also the USD was long, but now they are short. Means that a lot, as I said, a lot of capital will be taken up from the US, will be taken out from the US, will be placed in other countries. As you see, they are selling the dollar. Mean that the dollar is not there's no value to buy the dollar right now. They are selling the dollar due to the economic devaluation, the tariffs, the GDP, as I say, as I showed in my spreadsheet. So what will happen to the market? The USD South African rand will go down. This means there will be a strong economic compared to the compared to the South African rand. So let's look at the South African rand. Let's take a look at the South African rand, guys. Okay, this is a South African rand, whereby also the South African rand, for what we have seen in the macroeconomic approach, the data which you looked before, you see the South African rand, they are buying. So means that, as I said, the difference in interest rates, I said before, the South African interest is at 7.25, mean that a lot of capital will be flowing to South African rand due to when investors invest, they'll be getting a return of their investment, a good return of 7% interest. So this means a lot of investors will invest in the rand currently due to the current economic activity. It doesn't mean the economy has no good the US economy is not greater than the South African economy. It is great, but according to what is happening in the market, a better place, a good way to invest your capital will be the South African rand. Due to it provides good interest compared to the USD. Yes, you see there, they are buying the South African rand. That's why you see the price is going up due to they are buying the South African rand. You see what is happening here. So this is what will happen. Likely this is what will happen also to the market, guys. So make sure you look at the market. You look and see how investors are investing. You must know things like this. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at things I was talking about, the tight spread. When I mean tight spread, I mean the interest swaps. Interest swaps is the difference between interest rates between two countries. Okay, guys, as I said before, the South African rand, it has got a it has got an interest rate of 7.25. The US has got an interest rate of 4.25. So what does it mean to the market? When you buy the USD South African rand, when you buy the USD South African rand, you'll be paying the broker negative 1.25.98. You'll be paying the broker. First, you have loss, and then you'll be paying the broker. How you know you'll be paying the broker? You'll be looking at your capital. Your capital will be minimizing. The broker will be taking something for you. But when you sell the sell position, the broker will be paying you 75.48. Then this will vary, will matter according to your lot size which you have entered. If it is 0.01, mean that the broker will be paying you 0.07 per day. So if you hold it a month, 6 months, if it's a standard lot of 0.1, mean the broker will be paying you a 0.7, a 0.7. See, if it is standard a big lot one, means the broker daily will be paying you $7. That's what will happen. So $7 times that, you can do the mathematics. So that's why I said this is a good pair. And this why does the broker pays you by selling? Due to the different variation in the interest rates. As I said earlier, the interest rates, the different variation in the interest rate is that's what this makes the broker to pay you guys. As I said before, the US interest rate is at 4% 0.25. The ZAR interest rate is at the ZAR interest rate is at 7.25. So the likely this the broker will likely pay you. That's why I say, guys, this is a big opportunity to look at this pair. It's a sell opportunity. See the interest rates. That's why here it is. When you short, the broker is paying due to the variation of interest rates. You see 7.5, 7.4.50. So these are the large interest rates. So you don't know to benefit from the profit of holding the pair and trading the pair, but also the broker will pay you. So this will reduce the risk, will increase your capital growth. So things like this, the COT assures, and the and the the CO2 also shows everything, and also the the chart here you see here. Also, we are going to look for retracement around 18.15. This we are going to look out for retracement around 18.15. We are going to sell the pair. We are going to sell the pair until until 17.23. So this is a good pair, guys. Take a look at this pair. Take a good advantage of this pair and trade it very well. I know this. I know this video will enlarge your thoughts about the forex market. It's not about just drawing lines, support and resistance. Yeah, price action happens, but you must know South African, what is happening to South African economy? What is happening? When you know these things, guys, the forex market is a very simple thing. That's why I said this is a long-term sell. Look at my other videos, the DXY. We are selling it from 108. The current line now is at 99, something like that. Look at the USD. We are going to 1.20 or take profit. You see things like this I'm talking about. So I'll keep the link on my video description about the if you want to know more about how to find the right forex broker, because this is a big problem I know. And if you want to know about how to look for good tight spreads between interest rates between countries and how to benefit from them, this is a good opportunity to take it. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, comment, so that we continue growing this macro market economic community. And I'll be providing more videos concerning the stock market, the futures market, and those who are trading the futures market. This is an opportunity. You're going to sell the future USD. You can run futures. Simple like that. When the futures market is different because you trade one currency as a currency. So if you're in the futures market, you just go in and buy the South African rand futures. You want to sell the USD futures, something like that. If you're euro, you're going to buy the euro futures. So this is how it works. So guys, thank you for listening to this video, and please don't forget to share it so as to grow this channel. Thank you and have a great week.